The nuclear model of the atom was adapted from the plum pudding model based on an alpha particle scattering experiment. Explain how the findings of the experiments altered the model. 3 marks. So this question requires you to have knowledge of the plum pudding model, the alpha scattering experiments, and the nuclear model. And you need to know the differences between the plum pudding model and the nuclear model and how those experiments helped us go from one to the other. So the idea of the plum pudding model was that the centre of the atom was a ball of positive charge and that there were negative electrons embedded in it. So almost like the pudding was the ball of positive charge, and then the plums would be dispersed in amongst the pudding. So that was the negative electrons were dispersed throughout the pudding. The alpha scattering experiment showed that the mass of the atom, however, was concentrated at the centre. So that showed there was sort of lighter mass around the outside, but the bulk of the mass was in the centre of the atom. So that kind of disproved the plum pudding model because obviously the mass was sort of all concentrated together in the plum pudding model, whereas the alpha scattering model showed that there was sort of a core which was heavy and then outer, which was lighter. So the alpha scattering experiment added the nucleus to the model. So they knew there was a very heavy centre. The mass was concentrated at the centre, so that gave the idea of the nucleus at the centre of the atom, and that there was sort of outer, lighter areas surrounding that central heavy nucleus.